It's time for Orchard Skills. General Data Protection Regulation, known as GDPR, is a regulation in the EU law on data protection and privacy for all individuals within the European Economic Area. GDPR helps protect people's data by ensuring user privacy and honoring their rights. GDPR imposes specific rules on any organization that serves the people in the European Economic Area. Failing to follow will result in a fine of €2 million, or 2% of the annual global turnover of the organization, whichever is higher. An important compliance of the GDPR is cookie consent on data privacy. Today we'll be utilizing Antoine Skifford's Orchard Core Cookie Consent Nougat Package. Welcome back to Orchard Skills. So what is the GDPR Cookies Policy? GDPR Cookie Policy. You'll need to comply with the GDPR if your business processes personal data from individuals in the EU. This includes the use of cookies. The GDPR requires that you disclose important information about the personal data you process, including what personal data you collect, how you collect and use it, how users can control any of this. You'll also need to comply with the EU's e-privacy directive if your website is based in the EU or directed towards EU citizens and you use cookies. To comply, you must let visitors know your website uses cookies and how cookies are used. You must obtain consent before cookies can be used. You aren't legally required to have a separate cookies policy. However, most businesses are choosing to do so. Your website uses a number of different cookies for a variety of purposes. Consider creating a separate cookies policy. Include the following sections in your cookies policy. What are cookies? Start your cookies policy with a section that lets your users know what are cookies, what they do. Write this in a simple, easy to understand way. How you use cookies. Disclose what types of cookies you use and how to use them. Be as specific as possible. Some websites use paragraphs. Some use lists. Others use tables or charts. It's up to you as long as the information is accurate and easy to understand. Third-party cookies. If you allow third parties to place cookies through your website, you'll need to disclose this, including the third parties by name when you can. Analytics. If you use an analytics service, let your users know about this. Analytics services will require this disclosure. Check the terms of use agreement for the service you use to see what's specifically required. This disclosure is often included in a section that covers third-party cookies or how cookies are used by your website. Remarketing. If you use a remarketing service such as Google Ads, you'll need to disclose this use of cookies. Again, make sure to check the terms of use agreement for the service you use to see what's required. Google Ads, for example, requires some specific disclosures. Other tracking technologies. You may be using technologies like web beacons and pixel tags to track and identify users. While these aren't cookies, they interact with cookies and have privacy implications. Let users know that you use these technologies, briefly what they are, how you use them, and how users can limit any of this. How to control cookies. You need to let users know how they can adjust or disable the cookies you use. Some websites provide a control panel for this. Other businesses take a more basic route. Getting consent for cookies. Recital 25 of the e-privacy directive says that users should have the opportunity to refuse to have a cookie or similar device stored on their terminal equipment. This means you need to get consent before you can use most cookies. The most common and compliant way of doing this is with a cookie consent notice. A cookie consent notice is a banner or pop-up that appears to first-time visitors of your website. It will give users notice that cookies are used, provide a link to your privacy and/or cookie policy, get active consent to place cookies. How to create a cookie consent notice with terms feed. Go to termsfeed.com, scroll down, enter your website name, choose a color palette, and copy the text. Your GDPR Cookies Policy needs to disclose what cookies are, what cookies you use of third-party analytics and remarketing cookies, how you use cookies, use of other tracking technologies, and how users can control cookies. Make your cookies policy easy, accessible with your other legal documents. Use a cookie consent notice to get consent before placing cookies. Instead of starting out from scratch, let's go ahead and clone the material design theme solution. So let's head on over to github.com/orchardskills/orchardskills.orchardcore.materialDesignTheme. And let's click on the code button and open with GitHub Desktop. Okay, let's go ahead and clone. All right, we've cloned the repository. Now let's bring up Visual Studio, and you can see we have the material design theme solution. So let's go ahead and add Antoine Gifford's cookie consent NuGet package. Let's select on the Orchard Skills at orchardcore.cms and right click, and let's hit Manage NuGet Packages. And let's do a browse. And let's search for consent. And there it is, cookieconsent.orchardcore by Antoine Gifford. Let's select that. And let's go ahead and install. Hit OK. All right, we got that included. So now let's head over to our recipe here. Click on our recipe. Scroll down here. And let's go ahead and a third-party Orchard Core module section, and let's include cookieconsent.orchardcore. And let's save that. All right, let's go ahead and give it a try. Let's hit the little green triangle button. Okay, let's select Orchard Skills. Let's go ahead and select the material design theme, put in our credentials, and then go ahead and select Finish Startup. And there we go. And you notice that at the bottom here, we've got our cookie consent dialog at the bottom. So we can go ahead and click on Cooking Settings, and we can see cooking settings here. And then we can accept all cookies if we want. So let's go log in. Go to the dashboard. And there we go. Here's our cookie consent. So you can see here that you can change the bar color, the bar text color, and scroll down. And there we go. There's Antoine's Gifford's cookie consent. Now to recap everything, we just cloned the Orchard Skills material design theme and added and included Antoine Gifford's cookie consent nougat package. And we also enabled it inside of our recipe. So that was pretty easy. Now, if you missed or didn't understand something, that's okay. There's a detailed blog post that describes all the steps. There is also a GitHub repository with the complete source code. All this information is in the video description. If you like this video, please click on the thumbs up icon. Also, please subscribe and click on the bell icon to get a notification when I release the next video. Thank you for watching.